Alrighty, folks, we're now 13-0 with a push in our last 14 NHL tier package plays on my premium page. We had the Maple Leafs money line yesterday, and they scored 3 goals in the third period to give us the cash. And the good news is, I've got another NHL tier package play going off here for you today. I also want to give a big congratulations out to all of my Gold Club members, because you guys cashed in on a handful of plays yesterday as well. We had the Magic, Pistons plus 14, Oregon Ducks in college basketball. And once again, we cashed in on the Maple Leafs in the NHL. And the only way you could have accessed all those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. Now, Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my free sports picks video here today for Thursday, December 5th, 2024. Happy Thursday to you. Hopefully you're having a great week. And of course, the weekend is right around the corner. We're just about there. Now, if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. And listen, we're 2-0 in our last couple of daily best plays, 3-0 in our last 3 board member tier package picks. And finally, folks, once again, we are hitting at an amazing 13-0 with a push in my last 14 NHL tier package picks. And the good news is we've got plays going off in all of those packages here today, and they're all included with your Gold Club membership. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to start off in the NFL Packers-Lions 8:15 Eastern kickoff. Detroit's -3 at home, totals 51.5. And I'll tell you, both teams with some real good production out of their defenses. This Detroit secondary leads the NFL in defensive quarterback rating. Meanwhile, Green Bay allows fewer fourth quarter points than any other team. Now, 3 out of the Pack's last 4 outings did fall under the number. They're 6-2 to the under in their last 8. Meanwhile, Detroit saw unders in 4 out of their last 5 themselves. I like the under 51.5. All right, next play here. It's in the NBA. Nuggets, Cavaliers, 7 o'clock East. Cleveland's -4.5. Totals 235 and a hook. Now, Cleveland averages more points a game than any other team. They're shooting 51% from the field. Of course, Denver on the other side, they make more free throws a game than any other team themselves, doing a great job getting calls, getting to the foul line. Now, total-wise, Denver saw overs in 4 out of their last 7. Meanwhile, Cleveland went 60% to the over in their last 10. I like the over 235.5. All right, next matchup, Mavs, Wizards, 7 o'clock East. Dallas is -14.5, totals 232. Now, the Mavs are making nearly 50% of their field goals as a team. They're in the top 5 in scoring. Meanwhile, Washington on the other side, their defense is allowing 123 points a game themselves, and they're giving up more made field goals a game than any other team besides one. Now, they're also the second worst defensive rebounding team in the game. Give me the Mavericks -14.5, over 232. Next contest, Thunder Raptors, 7:30 p.m. East. Oklahoma City is -10 away from home, totals 227. OKC did fail to cover in 5 out of their last 8. They are struggling rebounding the basketball this year. They're actually in the bottom 5 in offensive boards, dead last in defensive boards. And that's certainly bad news for them because Toronto's been very physical underneath the basket. The Raptors are 4th in offensive boards themselves, 5th in defensive rebounding. I think the Raptors are going to have a good day underneath the basket. Now, total-wise, 5 out of the Raptors' last 7 did fall under the total. Meanwhile, OKC went 60% to the under in their last 10. Give me Toronto +10, under 227. Next contest, Hornets, Knicks, 7:30 p.m. East. New York's -14.5, totals 218. The Knicks are 13-8 on the year. Charlotte just 6-15. The Hornets dropped their last 6 straight, just 1-8 in their last 9. When it comes to shooting the basketball, well, there's nobody worse from the field. The Hornets are making just 42% of their field goals, dead last in free throws made. And they're facing a Knicks team who guards the field well, and they rebound exceptionally. New York currently leads the NBA in defensive boards per game. Now, total-wise, 6 out of the Knicks' last 10 outings did get over the total. Meanwhile, Charlotte went 60% to the over in their last 10. Give me the Knicks minus 14.5, over 218. All right, next matchup, Bulls-Spurs, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. San Antonio's -2, totals 236. And the Spurs got the W in 5 out of their last 7. They're top 10 in scoring defense. When it comes to offensive production, the Spurs are in the top 3 in shooting from the stripe. And they're facing a Bulls club who allows more made field goals a game than any other team. And no real surprise here, folks. Chicago gets up nearly 124 points a game. They're dead last in defensive scoring. Give me San Antonio -2, over 236. Next game, Suns Pelicans, 8 o'clock East. Phoenix is -2, totals 222. Phoenix 12-8 straight up. Pelicans just 4-18. Now the Suns are shooting it well. They're 7th in three-point percentage, 10th in free throws made, and they're facing a New Orleans club who's letting their opponents make nearly 50% of their three-pointers against them. Of course, when it comes to defending the three ball, they're in the bottom 3 in three-pointers given up per game. Give me Phoenix -2, over 222. All right, next contest, Kings, Grizzlies, 8 o'clock East. Memphis is -2.5, totals 241.5. The Grizzlies are 14-8 on the year. Sacramento just 10-12. The Kings failed to cover in 8 out of their last 10. And they do struggle guarding the three ball. They're allowing more three-pointers a game than any other team besides one. And unfortunately for them, the Grizzlies are a top 3 field goal shooting team. They're drilling nearly 50% of their attempts from the field. I like Memphis -2.5, over 241.5. All right, next contest, Rockets, Warriors, 10 o'clock East. Houston's -3.5, totals 221.5. Now, Houston did see unders recently against the likes of Portland and Milwaukee. They've also been tough against the deep ball. They're allowing fewer three-pointers a game than any other team except for one. The Golden State leads the NBA in defensive three-point percentage themselves. They also saw their last 3 straight stay under the line. 7-1 to the under in their last 8 as well. I like the under 221.5. All right, next contest, we're going into some college basketball. Early game, Southeast Missouri State taking on Lipscomb. That'll be a 12 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Lipscomb's -17, totals 147. We did see a 1-point move toward Lipscomb. They are 5-4 straight up on the year, 7-2 against the point spread. Having said that, though, Southeast Missouri State on the other side, they're 5-1 against the point spread themselves. And as a matter of fact, they're limiting their opponents to just 39% shooting from the field. The Red Hawks are also shooting, they're limiting their opponents to just 22% shooting from three-land. Teddy Washington leads this Red Hawks team in steals and rebounds. Elliot Loudon has the most blocks. And they're facing a Lipscomb team on the other side who's struggling getting calls on offense. They're getting to the foul line only 13 times a game. They rank 304th in free throws made per contest. I think this number is just a little bit too large in this spot here. Give me Southeast Missouri State +17, under 147. Next matchup, Alabama State taking on Southern Miss. That is going to be a 3:30 Eastern start time. Give me 1 second here, folks. I gotta check something real quick. Give me 1 sec. I'm sorry. All right, sorry about that. We are going to skip that game here. Next matchup, Purdue taking on Penn State. That's going to be 6:30 Bryce Jordan Center. Penn State -1.5, totals 150 and a hook. Both teams with identical records, 7-1 straight up, 4-4 against the point spread. And believe it or not, guys, it's actually Penn State who's been shooting it better than Purdue. The Nittany Lions are making 53% of their field goals. They're 7th in the country in that category. And because of that, they're also averaging over 91 points a game. They're in the top 3 in the nation in points per contest. Zach Hicks averages 13 points a game, 50% shooting from beyond the arc. And Ace Baldwin Jr. should recognize that name. He leads the program in points per game, 8 assists a night as well. And they're facing a Purdue team who failed to cover against the likes of Ole Miss, Marquette, and Yale this season. I think we'll see a lot of tickets on Purdue in this one. I'm going to fade the square action here. Give me Penn State -1.5, over 150 and a hook. Next matchup, Xavier TCU. That'll be an 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Xavier's -1 away from home, totals 146. Now, Xavier is 7-1 straight up on the year, doing a great job shooting the basketball. They're making nearly 40% of their 3 balls this year. They rank 33rd in offensive free throw percentage. And they're facing a TCU team on the other side who failed to cover the point spread in their last 6 straight. Lots of losing tickets for them recently. And they are arguably the worst free throw shooting team in college basketball. These guys are making only 59% of their attempts from the stripe. You might as well foul them. Put them in the line. They're not going to make you pay. Now, 4 out of the Horned Frogs' last 6 games did fall under the total. Meanwhile, Xavier saw all of their contests this year stay under the line except for one. Give me Xavier -1, under 146. And with that, we're going to jump into our next and final segment. Going to dive into some NHL plays. Our first game is Avalanche Hurricanes, 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Carolina's -155, total 6.5. Pyotr Kochetkov in the net for the Canes. Alex Gorgiev for Colorado. Now, Gorgie's definitely had a rough season thus far for the Avs. He's got a goals against average of .354, save percentage of just .867. So it should come as no surprise to you that the Avs are in the bottom 3 in the league in defensive scoring. And unfortunately for them, they're facing a Carolina squad who scores more goals a game at home than any other team. Martin Nikas leads the NHL in points, club leader in assists. And Jack Roslovic, he has 12 goals on the year himself. I like Carolina -155, over 6.5. Next matchup, Panthers Flyers, 7 o'clock East. Florida's -160, total 6 goals. Spencer Knight for the Panthers, Ivan Fedotov for Philadelphia. Now, Feds has a .339 goals against average, save percentage in the 800s. And out of the Flyers' last 10 meetings with the Panthers, they've struggled getting the puck in the net. They average only 2.7 goals a game during that time frame. And they're facing a Florida squad who won 3 out of their last 4 games themselves. And they do have a winning record on the road. Sam Reinhart leads the club in goals and points. Gus Forsling's a +14. Give me the Panthers -160, under 6. Next contest, Blue Jackets. Oilers, 9 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Edmonton's they're -280, total 6.5. Stu Skinner for the Oilers. Elvis Merzlikins for Columbus. And Elvis is 8-6 on the year with a shutout during that stretch. Now, these Blue Jackets offensive lines are also getting more pucks on net on the road than any other team besides one. Marchenko's got the most goals. He's a +15. And Werenski's got the most assists and points. They're facing an Edmonton squad who's 27th in goals allowed at home. Of course, on the other end of the ice, when it comes to offensive production, they're also in the bottom 5 in goals per game in their own building. Now, 3 out of the Oilers' last 4 games at Rogers Place got over the line. They're also 60% to the over in their last 10 at any location. Now, 8 out of the Blue Jackets' last 10 outings got over the total themselves. Give me the Blue Jackets plus 1.5, over 6.5 goals. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup for the video. Blues Flames, 9 o'clock Eastern puck drop. Calgary's minus $1.30, totals 5.5. Dan Vladar for the Flames, Jordan Binnington for St. Louis. Now, Benny's just 7-9 with a save percentage in the 800s. When it comes to offensive production, the Blues just aren't scoring enough. They're a bottom 5 goal-producing team. And they got to face Dan Vladar and the Flames at home here. Calgary's in the top 3 in goals allowed in their own arena. And the netminder of Vladar, he's got a .265 goals against average with a save percentage in the 900s. Now, total-wise, Calgary's 9-4 to the under at home this year, 17-9 to the under for the entire season. And oddly enough, the Blues are 17-9 to the under for the entire season themselves. Give me Calgary, minus 130, under 5.5. Now, with that, folks, we are going to jump into our quick pick recap. I like the under 51.5 in the Packers-Lions game. Give me the over 235.5 in the Nuggets-Cavaliers game. I'm 13-0 with a push in my last 14 NHL tier package picks. Dallas Mavericks minus 14.5 over 232. Toronto plus 10 under 227. New York minus 14.5 over 218. Give me the Spurs minus 2 over 236. Phoenix Suns minus 2 over 222. Grizzlies minus 2.5 over 241 and a hook. And I like the under 221.5 in the Rockets-Warriors game. College basketball, Missouri State plus 17 under 147. Detroit University plus 8.5 over 146 and a hook. Southern Miss minus 5 under 149. Penn State minus 1.5 over 150 and a hook. South Carolina State plus 9 over 158. Maryland Eastern Shore plus 20.5 over 145 and a hook. Wright State plus 1.5 over 137. Radford minus 3.5 over 141. Southeast Louisiana plus 2.5 under 139. Stephen F. Austin plus 6 under 143. Milwaukee minus 7.5 over 141 and a hook. Drake minus 10 over 136.5. Arkansas State minus 13.5 under 149. Texas A&M Corpus Christi minus 8 under 151. Northwestern State plus 5 over 139.5. Texas A&M Commerce plus 3 under 135 and a hook. Xavier minus 1 under 146. Cal Poly St. Louis Obispo plus 3 over 159.5. UC Irvine minus 15.5 under 135. UC Santa Barbara minus 2.5 over 138. San Francisco minus 7.5 under 152. Long Beach State plus 6 under 128.5. Give me Cal State Northridge minus 4 under 151. NHL Carolina minus 155 over 6.5. Detroit Red Wings plus 1.5 over 6. Florida Panthers minus 160 under 6 goals. Montreal plus $1.10 under 6. Tampa Bay Lightning minus 1.5 over 6 goals. Winnipeg minus 135 over 5.5. Seattle plus $1.10 over 5.5 goals. Columbus Blue Jackets plus 1.5 over 6 and a hook. And give me the Calgary Flames minus $1.30 under 5.5. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And just a friendly final reminder, if you do end up getting a membership, you're going to get access to that package each and every day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. They're going to be included with your membership. But most importantly, folks, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.